All right, welcome back, my dear students. So we gotta display some orders up here. All right, so that's fine. What I was thinking is I'm going to minimize this a little bit, and we're gonna display some of the information coming from PayPal. All right, but we also want to display some of the information that is on the sessions, like the product title, what else? Maybe the photo if we wanted to, or something else, or the product ID, so that way we know what's actually selling in our e-commerce site. All right. So my plan, and I think is a very good idea, is to actually make another table called reports and have that display all the stuff that's going on in our site. Like for example, well, not everything, but mostly what's selling in our cart in our e-commerce site. So let's go ahead and create that, and it's going to be very similar to, I think, to a products one. All right, even though we don't want all of this, we just want product ID, product title, product price, and the quantity. All right, so it's gonna have a couple of them, and let's just open this in a new window there, so that way I can see what's going on the left. All right, so let's go to ecom underscore db, and this is the same mismatch there because it was being a long time since I refresh this. But anyway, ecom underscore db, and let's create another table. Let's call this reports. This is gonna be pretty fun, I think. And we're gonna have, for now, 4 columns. If we need to add one, we'll add it. But this one's gonna be saying report ID, all right? Because we want the report ID, product ID, then product price, and product quantity. We want to know how many did it sell, right? Quantity, integer, this would be a float, quantity would be an integer. 11 11 flow 11 11. That was easy, right? Make sure this is auto increment and save. All right, so we got a reports table. That's pretty cool, I think, right? All right, so in this, for the orders table, we don't really, let's not put anything here in the, let's delete that product ID one there. Let's just drop it. I don't think we need it, right? All right, so let's go to our thank you page and see what we can do here. All right, so what I was thinking is we can actually, and make sure that you delete this cart.php from here, since we are actually including that in config. All right, we don't want to create a problem here in the thank you page. All right, so since we are using a lot of functions in cart.php, let's go ahead and create more functions, right? That's where we have our stuff. So we could include this in the cart.php later, but right now I'm just gonna put some space here and create a function. So what I'm gonna do is we want to create a function very similar to the cart function. So I'm just gonna copy this whole thing. All right, copy, and I'm gonna put it down here, make some space, and paste. And I'm gonna call this reports. Report. All right, there we go. All right, so we're not gonna need a lot of this stuff here, like the adding name, number, quantity. We don't need none of that. All right, we just need these two variables up here. Let's make sure we delete this delimiter too. We don't need that. All right, we could, if we wanted to, display some of this information in that thank you page, and that's up to you. Okay, so you can go ahead and display some of the information for the user, like whatever they order, and and so on. But I don't want to do that. That thank you page is just gonna be simple for me. Let's just take all of this out of here. All right, what else? This is just gonna be the total and the item quantity. All right, that's setting more sessions there, which we don't need because we already have these sessions available, right? So we don't need to set any more. should leave the total though. Let's just take this out. There we go. All right. I think this function is gonna do for us. All right, let's just call it from the thank you page and see if it gives us any problems. I'm gonna take this session destroy out because we still need that there. So let's go to our application. Let's go to the thank you page, public and thank you .php. All right, it redirects us back here because we don't have the parameters. So I think I deleted those parameters. I'm gonna try to get them back right here. I had them in a notepad, or not notepad, but that's mate, I believe. All right, so we are in the, it's not giving us an error. We're receiving that information, and we are calling this function right here. All right, so let's go ahead and see if this function works. Right, let's just echo something out. Let's just echo item quantity here, enter, and we can see that in quantity says 1. Let's go back here and let's check out our cart. Actually, we got 1 item. Let's add another one, and let's go to that thank you page again, and it says item 2. So he's actually getting the right information. All right, so what we need right now here is to do a query and get inside the database, all right, of reports and insert some of this data. All right, so anyway, we're going to be doing that in the next lecture. Take care, and if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. That will give you a lot of practice. See you in the next one.